Welcome to my live. My name is Lucy. Today I'm going to talk about I feel like this topic is really important to me because even till now I'm still in the process of, transforming it, but if you feel alone, if you feel like don't want to keep being like this, like you're dealing with life all by yourself and you're tired of doing it all by yourself, like being independent is great, but it just feels so alone. And I know that feeling because I've been there. Growing up, I've been there. I'm gonna share a little bit about myself. So my name is Lucy. I, I, me and my family, we sell tacos de canasta. Me and my sister, we co-founded this business. It's been like 4 or 5 years already. But before this, I used to be a personal trainer, and then I used to um, I used to also be a coach for a personal development company. I've been a little bit of everything. I know these have nothing to do with one another, and a little bit of everything. I'm just a passionate person that once I get into a certain topic, like I get really into it. And the reason why I'm also selling like right now we're selling tacos because we want to grow. I wanted to create something and grow it from scratch. We literally started this business with $90. And now we have so many we have four carts, we have four different spots, we have people that work with us. It's a family business, so it's all family. And we want to show the world that it's possible to have a family dynamic that works and grow it from scratch. We start with $90 and we come out in festivals, we come out in concerts, we do big events. Like when we're not doing that right now, it's not really festival season. So we usually we have our permitted areas and we go there. That way we have something to do while we continue to grow the business. Um so I okay, so when I was little, when I was a girl, my dad, I don't know if you guys can relate, but my dad he wanted me and my sister to be extremely independent. Like, I remember growing up, and my dad would always tell me and my sister, like, you want to make sure when you guys grow up, you don't depend on anyone, not on a man. Like, you have to be self dependent. Self dependent. And I remember when I was a kid, I mean, you're a kid, you're like, "No, but everybody's like everybody's your friend." When you're a kid, your heart is so open, your heart is so it's like the world is so it's made out of pink and everybody's a friend. And oh my God, I honestly do miss those times. But everybody's like a friend, everybody wants to help. Like you sincerely do believe that. So I remember when I was growing up, and I didn't believe my dad. I didn't want to do what my dad said, but he's like, no, you have to be independent. You have to be self-sufficient because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you have to depend on someone, especially not in a man. And you can imagine being in that program. And I feel like a lot of people, especially if you have like I have both of my parents, they raised us, but especially like single moms, it's so common to have like single moms and they're raising their kids to be strong so they don't have to deal with the world like how they dealt with it. And so they being independent is like it's like something that is in our culture that is like that's what we're pushed to be in this society. Like we don't really and keep in mind, like when in order for us to survive when we were, in caveman days, we had to depend on people. We had to depend on one another in order to literally survive another day. So it's not really in our DNA to be this independent in this world right now. Like everybody and like everybody's on their phones, nobody wants to really socialize, come out, be do your um go like bike like be social. Like it's so weird now, and we're so getting like we're getting more and more glorified when we're the more independent you are, like, oh, you're a powerful person, woman or man. It's like we have to make it on our own, and that's becoming our standard in our culture. And I'm seeing it more and more, especially in the younger generations. It's like I love it because you know everybody gets to really know what they're made out of, but then at the same time, it makes me a little like it gets me a little worried because what's going to happen when our generations are only really depending on themselves? How are we really going to thrive? Anyway, so I grew up. My dad was actually one of those people that he was like, no, and I need you to be independent. I need you and your sister. So I have my sister, my bigger sister. And I need you and your sister to always know, like, how to change the tire. So my dad taught us how to change a tire when we were in our teens, how to put air in the car, how to, like, a lot of the things that, um, how to put water in the car, like things that men should be doing, but I mean, we kind of like had to learn, and I'm so grateful for that, to be honest. But it's like, imagine being in a programmed where you have to just depend on yourself. So when I got to the age of 18, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Please tell me if you guys can hear me. Oh, A. Marie. Oh, thank you. Hello from Texas. Hi, Tony. So our permits actually do give us the rights to be here because this sidewalk leads to nowhere. Like it really leads up to right there, and that leads to nowhere, which is why we're able to actually put ourselves right here. And the city was able to give us the permits for this literally like this exact location. We can't go any lower. We have to be here. Okay, so yeah, so I remember when I was like 18, I was already programmed in my head that I have to be dependent. We have to do it all by ourselves. So growing up, I felt really alone. Like by the time I was like 18, 19, I was really alone to just I was so deep programmed, like deeply programmed into like, no, you have to do this on your own. You can do it. You do not need other people. You can imagine how lonely I felt. And since I couldn't really trust people, it was kind of like, son tacos de canasta. Ujú. Tengo de chicharrón prensado, papa con queso, frijol con carnitas y chorizo de soya. Porque debería estar en una canasta, pero legalmente aquí no se puede poner en una canasta porque se tiene que mantener a una temperatura exacta y es lo que estamos usando. Ujú. Son tacos de canasta, son como tacos al vapor, son suavecitos. Ujú, ujú. Que allá en México los ponen en una canasta grandota. Ujú. Chicharrón prensado, papa con queso, frijol con carnitas y chorizo de soya. Mm. 4 tacos for 14.75. Mhm. Of course. I'm from here. My family's from Mexico City. Mhm. Well, they sell it a lot there, but it originates from Tlaxcala. So it's in Mexico. So it's in Mexico. It's not really close to there, but since everybody made like it originated there, but everybody pretty much took their dishes, that dish, and they made it their own in every state. Like that's why you know them as tacos al vapor, tacos de canasta, tacos sudados, but it's all very similar. Hmm. Of course. Yes. So tacos al vapor are actually like they're soft tacos. Yeah, so al vapor. So just like if you would have a tamal, that's al vapor. So it's a soft tamal, right? So it has a very similar texture. Hmm. Hmm. Of course. Yes, yes. Not even that far, like 15 minutes ago? Barely. Like, not that early. Through there. It's actually pretty light. It looks heavy, but it's actually made with really good material that is light for somebody like me to be able to put drag around. Yeah. Pretty much the propane tank is like what would be the like the yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Of course. I love seeing people being astonished at how I push the car. Uh, A Marie or Aya Marie, thank you so much for your beautiful comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I was at yeah, so when I was 18, 19, my dad, like I remember just feeling like really alone. And if you guys don't really know my story, by that time I was already an alcoholic. By that time I used to party all the time. I used to like do so many I used to do like at age 23, I was already in deep into alcohol. I was already deep into some dr- drugs. I don't know if I'm able to say that on here without, you know, without them muting me. So I was already into a lot of things. And so I just wanted a way out. I no longer wanted to be that way. I wanted something different. I'm like, why do I feel so alone? Knowing that I'm surrounded by people, I have friends, I have my family, even though at the time, around age 23, I did not like get along with my family like that anymore. They did not trust me. I mean, when you're an addictive alcoholic, you lie. You lie so much. You become a frequent liar. And I became like a liar. Nobody really can trust me. My family couldn't really trust me. I yeah, I had friends, but I didn't have like friends that I would be like, these are my ride or die. Like these are good people and they would be with me till the end. Like, no, I have people I partied with. When I say friends, that's what I mean. And so yeah, so I was alone and then I just knew I wanted something different. So that's around the time that I started started reading books. I even got into different religions because I wanted to study what other religions are doing to make themselves, you know, to pretty much I was just like starting to be curious because I was no longer wanted to be that way. My sister took me to a personal development seminar, which started my whole like that's what started my whole career with personal development. And then I got into coaching and all of that. Um, but I just remember like I got into that seminar and one thing that they shared there that honestly it's so simple, especially because when you're growing up, you know to do this. But when you grow up, you forget to do these simple things that make you happy. Like literally so simple. And so I remember they one of the things that we're supposed to be quote unquote supposed to be doing in the coaching program 'cause it was like a coaching program like for me to coach people in life, but I have to be an embodiment of that. So I can't just be like this mess. Like I had to really resolve my life to really deal with my traumas. Even till now I mean we're humans, we're like onions. We are always peeling the onion. There's layers to us, just like Shrek said. Shrek from Shrek. And so I remember like I was just thinking like crap, like I'm really peeling the onions. And one of the things that really one of the things that really did resonate with me that I did not know that I was not doing was they said if you ever feel overwhelmed, stressed, have anxiety, then do not think that you can sort it out by yourself in your head. you have to you have to call another coach, you have to call another person. And at the time I was since I was in the coaching program, I was assigned a coach where I got to um talk to once a week, more if I wanted to, but I had to request it. But I had to talk to this person just about like my week, what have I been doing to transform my life, to really take full responsibility of my life. But I had to, and but if I felt like if I was, let's just say, if I was having a bad day and I cannot resolve this by myself, I had to call that coach and I had to be honest, like, hey, I did this, this, and this. I feel like this. So I'm not saying that you have to get a coach. I'm just saying call someone. Do not feel like you're going to resolve it all by yourself because you got yourself into that, I guess, quote unquote, problem, trouble. And you can't really get yourself out. You need help outside of yourself. And for me, that was just like, ooh, like remember, my dad taught me to be really independent, me and my sister to be really independent. So you can only imagine how confronting that was. I remember thinking, like, no, I don't need my coach. I know I can do this program without them. I was literally trying to do it within my own rules, right? Like I was just like, no, I can do this without them. Like I can do this. Like I've gotten this far. And they had to beat it to my head like, hey, the program's not designed for you to do it by yourself. Life is not designed for you to do it by yourself. Life is not designed for you to do it by yourself. I'm repeating that because sometimes I have to remind myself because my programming is still there when I was a kid. And right now, I just hearing it, I'm like, whoa, I'm really, yes, I forget. Like I know it and then I forget. Like that's like my mind. Like that's how our mind works. Like we know these things and yet we forget them. And they're like so simple. So I learned even when I got out of that program, I learned I had to learn to trust people. I had like that was a huge thing for me. I had to learn to trust people. And being so independent, you deep down inside, what that really means is you can't really trust people outside of yourself, and that's a little sad, you know. Yes, I am. I'm reading the comments. Eduardo Rivas says, "Good morning, girl." Hello, good morning. Ricardo, are you a cajon? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Um, so I had to learn to really like trust people. Anybody that was not, that was not myself. Like I had to learn to trust them. That was hard. That was a big one. Like I really got like, wow, I really don't trust people. Because that program, it means when you're so independent, that means you don't think people are capable. And the first time I heard that, I was like, oh my God, like holy crap. It was like a light bulb swished in my head, and I'm like, whoa. It was heartbreaking because I remember when I was a kid, I was so trusting. Like, where did I lose that? Why did I lose that? I don't even know when I lost that. So I had to learn to trust people. So trusting is number one. So the part number one is out of so part number one is to trust people and calling and number two is calling for support, which for me was my coach at the time, but now I have my sister or my partner. I call for support. Like I have to realize that I cannot do this by myself. I call for support. That could be, your sibling, that could be your mom and your dad, but somebody that you trust enough to talk to. Remember, you can't do this by yourself. I mean, you can push through the pain. You can force an outcome by yourself, but wouldn't it be much more happy and more fulfilling knowing that you did this alongside with people that you love and people that you admire? I feel like getting to the top with people around you that want to see you thrive. I mean, I feel like that's way more fulfilling. And I had to learn to trust people because, girl, God damn, I did not know how to trust people. So I started learning how to call for support, which was really hard for me. And if you don't have someone, you can always, honestly, you can, like for me, it could be the universe, it could, whatever you believe in. It could be spiritual, you can be a specific religion, whatever it is, but like talk to that higher power. Like for me, I do call it God, but I feel like God has been it's such a cookie cutter word nowadays. And like when I say God, I mean like the bigger force is bigger than myself. Like that's what I mean when I mean God. And so I talk to the big, like that big force that is bigger than myself. And if you don't have somebody to talk to, talk to them, talk to him or her. That that energy that is bigger than all of us to help support you to have somebody that you can trust to pretty much navigate them your way. Because honestly, if you talk when I talk to God, or for me, it's kind of like the bigger energy, bigger than myself. Like when I talk to him, like this morning, I was meditating, and I meditated. It was a meditation. Can also be like a prayer. And when I meditated, I me- I meditate all the time for other people. Hola, buenos días. Muy bien, miren, para que aquí puedan ver, aquí está el menú, nomás voy a agarrar las salsas y la ensalada, que es lo que me falta, ¿ok? Pero ahí está el menú. Perdón, voy a quitar aquí mi celular. No, este es YouTube Live. Sí, que tenemos muchos seguidores ahí. Se llama Tacolín. A ver, aquí. Ok, a ver, ¿qué les doy? Son de tortilla regular de maíz. Ujú. El papa con queso es uno. ¿Quiere entonces dos de papa con queso? Porque dijo de papa y otro de papa con queso, pero el papa con queso es uno más un taco. Ok. Frijol con carnita. Ok. Bien. Ok. La segunda orden, que es la de ustedes, ¿lo quiere dividido entre un plato, dos platos? Ok. ¿Todo para llevar? Ok. Ok. ¿Y usted dijo cuatro de chicharrón, dos de papa y dos de frijol? Ok. Ujú. Mm, okey. Sí, okey, mira, y se los voy a poner en 2 bolsas separadas, ¿okey? Ese es de soya. Ujú. Sabe chicharrón, pero es de sí, sí, ese y también está hecho con aceite diferente, para mejorar, pues, la salud, digamos. ¿Van a pagar separados o juntos? Okey, deme un momentito. Va a ser $44 cerradito. Y deme un momentito, ni puedo abrir esta bolsa. Okey, ya. No se puede abrir. Okey, esta 2, 1, 2, avisándoles que la salsa roja pica más y la salsa verde pica menos, ¿okey? Ujú. Ya te la avisé. Y sí, está en este. Mm, ya te la avisé. Y déjame darle su cambio. Bueno, muchas gracias, que tenga muy bonito día. Hola, buenos días. A ver, ¿qué les doy? Mira, menú está de este lado. Uy, pata de papa con queso. ¿Eso sería todo para ustedes? Este está hecho de soya. Está hecho de soya. Ujú. Ese se vende mucho también. Mucha gente no lo piensa, pero sí. ¿Y uno vegana? Entonces va a ser un total de 5 tacos. ¿Ok? ¿Y eso vas? 2 de papa con queso. ¿Ok? Y entonces los separo así en esos 2 platos, ¿verdad? ¿Y ya lo quieren preparado con la ensalada y salsita verde y roja arriba? Sí. Sí, sí, ese, ujú. De Upland, y abajito por Montclair. No, ¿ese es Rúbido o Jurupa Valley? Ujú. Creo que Upland ya es el condado de Los Ángeles. Ujú, ujú. ¿Les gusta con mucha o poquita salsita? Mira, la verdecita pica menos y la rojita pica un poquito más. ¿Le puedo poner un poquito de las 2 o nomás de una si ustedes gustan? Okey. Sí, porque combinados están bien sabrosos. ¿Y también se los tapo con el aluminio? Okey. Aquí está el de 5 y aquí está el de 2. Uy, 1 y 2. Aquí te lo dejo en la mano. Aquí. Entonces fueron 6, 4, hace 25,80 centavos. Ujú. ¿Está bien así con las servilletas o quiere que le dé un poquito más? Así. Está bien. El amor. Ya está. Y aquí. Muchísimas gracias y que tengan muy bonito día. Hola, buenos días. Voy a ponerlo aquí. Aquí. Ay, ¿qué les doy? Y el menú está de este lado. Son de tortilla regular de maíz. Ujú. Ok, ¿y ustedes? Papa y queso, ese es uno. Tres de esos, ok. ¿Cuántos de chicharrón, perdón? ¿Uno? Ok. ¿Y ya los quieren preparados con la ensalada y salsita verde y roja arriba? ¿Todo aparte? Sí. Ok. En la ensalada sí le quiere arribita. Ok. Hola. Uno, dos, tres. ¿Y también quieren que se los tape con el aluminio todos todas las órdenes o así? Ok. Ok. Fueron 3 órdenes que ordenaron iguales y estos siguientes van a ser 2 de frijol y uno de chicharrón. Son 3 iguales. Y nomás una persona ordenó 3 de papa. Así. Todos esos son iguales. Ajá. Aquí, estas 3 de papa. ¿En qué ustedes van a querer algo? Okey. Ay. ¿Y también los quieren preparados con ya preparados completamente o la salsa al aparte como ellos? Okey, ¿y usted? Igual, okey, okey. Okey, aquí está, y aquí están sus tenedores y servilletas. Bueno, lo dejo aquí por si acaso. ¿Qué me faltó alguien? ¿Van a pagar todos separados o juntos? ¿De todo? A ver, 3, 6, 9, 12, 6. Entonces, fue un total de 16 tacos, va a ser $59 cerraditos. Ujú, sí. Ah, aquí está. A ustedes. Wow. A ustedes, que tengan bonito día. Ay, ya se me olvidó de lo que estaba hablando. Okey. Ay, ni he podido de poner todas mis cosas, honestamente, ni cerré mi puerta. Mejor me dejo mi esta, porque hay muchos hombres ahorita, prefiero no enseñar mi cuerpecito que mi Diosito me dio. Entonces, este no lo quisieron, perfecto. Okey, entonces, ya hasta se me olvidó de lo que estaba hablando, estaba, pues, obviamente tuve am, una línea muy grande y me puse un poquito nerviosa, pero no mucho, porque yo sé cómo ahora ya sé cómo lidiar con las líneas grandotas. Okey. Oh, yes. Oh, sí, entonces, like, if y learning to trust. Take the jacket off. No, I'm okay, thank you. It's getting hot, but honestly, I can't take the jacket off. There's too many men here, and honestly, when it's too many men, I do not like getting that type of attention. So I literally keep my jacket on, or I wear a big sweater. I brought both. I might just wear my big sweater. Just because the jacket is like too much, you know. Well, okay, I think it's that. Okay, so oh yes, I was sharing with people like talking to somebody that you can trust or create trust. Because honestly, we can't do it by ourselves here in this world. It's so I mean you can, but it really is it makes it that much harder when you can learn to trust. It gives you a different level, a different level of life, a different level of like happiness and joy and passion because you learn that you're not alone. So learning to trust people. I had to learn to trust people, and it was really hard for me, and even now it's an ongoing thing, learning to trust people. Learning that people are there. There's good people in the world, not just bad people, I guess, quote unquote. There's no such thing as bad people, but I guess people with bad intentions. It's not just that. So learning to trust people. Like for example, the other day, my husband goes to AA meetings. Like he's been doing that for like a while already. He goes to AA meetings because he's um he's been sober. But he honestly is going to AA meetings has helped him stay sober and help him just bring up his integrity up. And I feel like we were having like a lot of troubles in our life, in our marriage, because he was starting to let himself go, and obviously we weren't doing so great. So he had to learn. He like it got like not so long ago, like a couple months ago, it got to a point where I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, we're not the same people. You're not the same person. So I had to like we both decided to take a break. And in that break, he decided like, wow, he realized, oh wow, I have a problem. So he started going to AA meetings, and let me tell you, it has been so different. It's like the guy that I fell in love with, it's like it's coming back. Like I didn't even know what it was, but there was something different, like how our marriage was going. I thought it was just like, oh, you get married and then like the spunk goes away. Like, no, you stop taking care of yourself. You stop doing all those things that got you married in the first place. And no, that's what he realized. Like he stopped being himself. And so um he started going to AA meetings, and the other day he asked me, he's like, "Hey, like I would really appreciate it if you come to one of the AA meetings with me so you can understand what like when I share with you, like you can stand where I'm going through." And let me tell you, I was so resistant. I was so resistant because I was just like, is he trying to tell me there's something wrong with me? Like I'm a recovering alcoholic myself. I was sober for 10 years already, but Like I thought there was like a deeper motive. I was like, but I told him yes. Like I'm gonna be a good partner, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna put my thoughts and my feelings aside because he's asking for support. I'm gonna do it. And like I was so resistant, but I did it. I went the other day. It was like I think it was Wednesday, my first one. And it has like I showed up, we went to the meeting. I came with a really like an open mind because I was just like, well, my like if it has helped him, maybe there's something there that I can learn. Like I don't feel like I need to go to AA because I've been sober for a while now. But you know what? Like I could be wrong. Like I can be wrong. I can always find like I can find opportunities in everywhere. And so that's what I did. Like I was just, I decided to go to the meeting, and we went to the meeting. I got so much out of it. People are really struggling, and I thought I was struggling with my health, like my mental health sometimes. Like I know I'm very blessed, but sometimes you get those days where you're just like, "Oh my god, like what is wrong with me?" you know? We all have those days. So, I remember like hold on, I'm gonna put this here because I haven't even finished setting up my stand, you guys. I've been talking to you guys, and then I got that line of people. Okay, um, so we went to the AA meetings, and so I literally got out of there, and all I was thinking, because the AA meeting went over for like 40 minutes. I thought it was only an hour, so I only planned to be there an hour, and then I knew I had a list of things to do for the business. I had to edit some videos. I had to do some stuff even with my I have a hobby job, call it my hobby job. But I used to be a personal trainer, so I enjoyed that life so much. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do group classes. So I do strength training classes um in group settings, but I pretty much am doing what I was doing as a personal trainer, but just doing with a group of like 6 people, 5, 6 people, sometimes even more. And I train them, so that's my hobby job. So I do a lot of content for that too. And so I just like I had so many things that I had to do that day. And I was just like, man, like this meeting went over 45 minutes. Like that was like 45 minutes I could have done doing something else. And then like all these things, right? I was getting myself upset. I was getting myself mad. And the meeting ended. I can tell he was really happy that I was there. I was happy that I was there to support him as well, to be honest. That made me really happy, and so but it went over way too much. I was pissed off, and I was just like, like I have all these things to do, and my husband's like, "Hey, like, do you want to go get some coffee after this?" And in my mind, I'm like, "Do you like? It's a weekday. Like, I need to work. Like, I need to do some stuff. Like, this is like I'm sorry that." It's like I was getting attitudes like I'm sorry that blah 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 and da da da. Like I was like making it all about myself, right? So I was getting upset. And so I like I was getting upset and everything, and so he was, he was like, "Are you okay? Do you want me to clear you?" Because that's what we call it when we call somebody and we just like say whatever we need to say. And by the way, when you call someone, don't just say whatever you want to say. You have to say things with the intention of letting it go. Because if you don't have the intention of letting it go, then you're just like word vomiting all over people, and they don't deserve that either. Like you also being responsible about the way you communicate things. So we call it clearing. It's like, can you please like clearing my head? Like, can you please? And he's like, do you want me to clear you? He asked me, and I was like, well, I had a bunch of things that I needed to do, and I was emotional. I was upset, but I was like, I need to say it so I can like let it go, right? Um, I was just like, okay, like it went over by way too much, and you want to get coffee? Like, do you not work? Like, I need to work. I need to do this, this, and this, and this. And then I was just like, after a while. He just gave me some space. He's like, "Okay, I understand. I hear you." And he's like, "Anything else?" I was like, and the other day, and blah, blah, like a bunch of things came up, right? Like when we're upset, like we can think of so many things to be upset about. I was like, and the other day, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, I understand. Anything else? And he's like, no, I think that's it. And I felt so much better. Like I was like, yeah, let's go get coffee. I can work in the coffee shop. I got so much better, like so much faster. Before I used to get upset and explode on people and then just kind of like I that's how I would lose friendships. Like that's why so many people could only tolerate me because it was really hard to be with somebody that had an explosive personality. I mean, and even now I'm have to even when I'm more responsible about the way I communicate, I still can be explosive. But now I own it and now I clean it up if I am. Like sometimes I'm very, very reactive. Like my personality is so reactive and I'm learning to cope with it. I mean, I just barely started using these tools of like clearing myself and being responsible with the way I communicate. Like it's only been I've been so it's was like 24, 25, I guess. So it's like 8 years, and it's still an ongoing process. I'm so much better now than I was years ago. Way like no comparison, but it's still a work in progress. So I need to do some self earlier. Had the line and I still didn't have like my door was open, like everything was open in my car. So I have to just sit there and let you blow up on me in order for you to feel better and then you move on the day. That sounds like a shitty deal. Yes, exactly. So what I do is I'm very responsible about the way like if I'm upset, I do it almost when I'm getting upset, I try to clear it as much as like as fast as possible, as fast as my body lets me. Because sometimes you just hold on to things and you don't even know why. You have to resolve things in your head, right? So when like my husband clears me, I prepare him. You have to prepare people. Like you can't just be like, I have some things in my mind and then can you just listen to me? Like, no, you have to prepare people. I prepare him. It's like right now I'm not feeling that great. So how I'm communicating might not be the way I want to communicate it, but this is just how it's happening. Doesn't mean that my feelings are valid. It just means that this is what I'm feeling right now, but I'm not my feelings and this is just what I'm feeling right now. And you have to keep in mind, you are not your feelings. Like if you were sad yesterday, are you sad today? Are you the word sad? Like, no, you were just sad yesterday. You're feeling that feeling. We feel feelings all day long. We have so many thoughts and feelings, and we cannot think that we are our thoughts and feelings. We just have them. We have these thoughts, we have these feelings, and we all in our mind, our brain is programmed to want to redo the same thought patterns, the same feeling patterns. So if you're naturally like an angry person, like I was, naturally angry person, then by all means, your body, when you wake up the next morning, have a good rest. Your body is like, oh, but we're an angry person. Like this is how you were feeling most of the day yesterday. This is what I'm gonna bring back today. And so you have to reprogram your brain knowing like, "Hey, I'm not my feelings. I just have feelings." And you have to prepare people. Like I prepare my friends all the time too. Like, "Hey, I'm not feeling that great. Can you just listen to me without judging me?" And by the way, these are just the feelings I'm feeling right now, but that doesn't mean it's the truth. It's being so responsible about the way I communicate because I can be like sometimes you have like the crappiest like thoughts and feelings, but you're not those thoughts and feelings. You just happen to have those thoughts and feelings. Like if everybody acted on those thoughts and feelings, like this world would be chaos. But we're not those feelings, we're not those thoughts. We have them, and sometimes we have to cope with them, but we're not them. And that's something that I had to learn, like reprogram my brain that I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. I just have them. That's why meditation for me is so important because you get to in real time practice that you're closing your eyes, you're being with your breath, or if it's a guided meditation, you're with the things that like you're just being present And the more you're present, the more you realize, like, oh, there's another thought. Oh, look at there's another thought. Oh wow, I'm feeling this. And now that I felt that, I let myself feel it, you can release it instead of being resistant. Because whatever resists persists. It goes like this. So the more you resist your feelings, the more you resist it, you can just be with it. When I'm being with my thoughts and my feelings, I am definitely feeling like sometimes it's a lot because it is. Sometimes some feelings could be really overwhelming. Not all feelings are great feelings. By the way, you're not supposed to feel good all the time. And I don't know where we got that slogan or that logo, like where that slogan where like, oh, be happy all the time. Like just have to be happy all the time. Like we're not supposed to be happy all the time. The human experience is supposed to be felt with all the feelings and all the experiences that life has to bring, which comes with sadness sometimes. It comes with anger sometimes. It comes with like we do experience all these feelings and it's okay if you experience them. You're not them, but you can experience them, acknowledge them and let them go. Ooh. Ah, hold on, I'm still setting up my stuff, so I'm sorry if I'm not paying attention. Um, so that was the other day. My partner, he cleared me. He was like really gracious about it, and he's really good at not judging me. But yet again, he's done the work too. He's done the it's like he's done the work where he realizes that like when we're dealing with something, like if somebody's angry at something or someone, they're not really angry at that something or that someone. They're dealing with something that's going on with themselves that is being triggered. And like my partner, he knows that very well. Like when I'm being triggered, he knows that it has nothing to do with me. It's nothing personal. He just happens to be the person that's in front of me as I'm dealing with it. That's why when some people are being mean, some people are being rude, it's easy for me, like not completely easy, because I'm still human. I still feel like, but it's easier for me to realize, like, oh, all the things that are happening or that person said to me, if they're being rude to me, it really doesn't have much to do with me. It has to do with whatever triggered them. What is it that triggered them that to get them that upset? What did they make it mean about themselves? Because it really isn't what's going on outside of yourself. It's really what's going on inside of yourself. And when you made it mean, what was it triggering? Maybe something that you've been trying to avoid or suppress, and you didn't even know that was there. That happens so much. Because again, like I said earlier in the video, like we're all like onions. We all have layers and layers and layers. So it's okay to give me a second. I'm so sorry. I'm just like trying to deal with this before they fall out. I think that's fine. Mm. Oh, David, thank you so much. Golden era 91. So it sounds complicated, but I guess that's why I'm not married. I don't, I mean, it could be complicated, but anything that's complicated, it's worth it. Honestly, not everything, but if it's worth, if it's worth actually working for it, then marriage is for you. Sometimes marriage isn't for some people, and that's okay. It's not it's like trying on a jacket. Like that jacket's not supposed to be everyone's liking. It's just a jacket. It fits some people like it, some people don't. And sometimes marriage is for people, sometimes marriage is not. It's just what it is. So yes, I think that's all I wanted to share today. Oh my god, that car had a cute little dog. Um okay, let me see. Anything else that you need? I don't know. Do you guys have any more questions? Let me look at the comments. That tacos look amazing. Mr. Unknown Cali Life. I like that name. I think those are all the comments right now. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. And I'm very grateful, from somebody that came from my past. And if you didn't watch the whole live, I definitely recommend you watching since the beginning because I shared how I came to be like how I am right now and where I am right now. So definitely look back if you just barely jumped in, definitely go back so you can see the full story so it can make sense. But yes, so I want to thank you guys all so much for being here and listening to me, being here with me even when I had like a bunch of customers. I came extra early today so I'm able to do this live and like not be interrupted. But I still got interrupted, and it's a beautiful interruption. Don't get me wrong. I want to be interrupted like that more often. But I specifically woke up half an hour earlier, so I can be here half an hour earlier. So I'm able to be fully present all the time in the live. But it is what it is, and I appreciate it. I love it. I mean, obviously, clients. It's a blessing to me and my business. So I'm truly happy. So if you want to see more of my content, which is my lives that are very similar to this, I always talk about my life experiences, what I have brought, what um what I've dealt with, how I dealt with them, all these life like I'm 33 years old now, so I've had 33 years worth of experience, which for some people it might be a lot, for some people it may not be a lot, but it is my experience. And if you guys want to look back into my last live, I will be putting in the description below. But I think the last live I talk about how I was at rock bottom and how I got to 10 years sober and dealing with addiction. And that one's so good. So I definitely do. If you like this live, definitely watch that one. And I will be putting it in the description below so you guys can see. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. Adios.